raining hard outside, and
And then you just like slide your hand on the window.
no, no, not like that. I don't know what. Are you in a music video or something? Hey guys, it's Copinho, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Making Sense with Copinho. This is where we talk about random thoughts on random topics. Hello everyone, my name is Copinho, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of this podcast. I'm your host, and I would like to introduce you to our much-awaited guest, our fellow podcaster, Mr. Khris Arjun.
And don't forget the Salas. Hello, my friends and guests.
Shall I call you Dr. Khris or Dr. Arjun now? Since
Please don't. I don't have any qualifications yet.
Since you do have your own clinic now.
Oh yes. Hi from all of my viewers and stuff like that. I am now a guest for the first time, so we'll see which skill I'm better at. Hopefully it's both.
And we're just casually having a discussion, so no worries. First off, like I always do with all of my guests, is ask my guests how they are. So how are you? How are you feeling today?
Some people that would see this probably think I'm deranged. No, it's this outfit is actually for later a social event.
Yeah, so he has excuses.
I am very I'm very, very grateful and humbled to be on your show, Calvin. You've surpassed your goals and targets, and I'm very proud of you for.
Thank you very much.
Everything that you've done, and
as you know, we know guested in your podcast before, and I've described there. So for those of you who haven't seen it, I've actually guested in this podcast before.
Yes.
Like I said there, this is for fun. We're having fun, right? We're having fun.
Of course.
Yeah. So, how's life been? I think you finished your first season, right?
Oh yes. I finished my first season, and the last episode was with my shorty. So, yeah, I'm very happy that I've done it. I've had a lot of obligations and priorities. One of them being staying pretty. So I've managed to get my trim after a couple of weeks. So I've kept up with my priorities, as you can tell, with the deadlines and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited to just be on here and talk about whatever we're going to talk about.
Yes, so why don't we go ahead to our first segment? So without further ado, our topic for this episode is about appreciation. So there's a lot of things that you can really talk about appreciation. So for me, I feel like it's very broad. So why don't you break it down for us?
Of course. In the course of my 21 years of being here, I found that there has been three forms of appreciation that I've experienced. Appreciation, first of all, is just to talk about being kind, grateful, no matter what hits you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Appreciating is just being grateful, essentially. It's a synonym. So my forms of appreciation has always come in the form of appreciation for myself, appreciation for everyone else around you, and not most importantly, because it's just the environment. So thirdly, appreciation for anything around you. Everything and everyone is very special around you, and I believe in that deeply. So yes.
Why don't you give us an example of those three types? And maybe I can chip in too if I can think of something.
Well, appreciation for yourself. If we're in lockdown, and a lot of people have found it to be quite difficult to stay productive, stay on their tasks, stay on their timetable or whatnot, because they don't have one. So one thing to remember within this trilogy of lockdowns is that always be kind to yourself. And that's almost as if it's like your own version of self-care and appreciation for yourself. Appreciation for yourself, you got to do it more. Just remember, time goes through you. I don't know if that's exactly word for word about the quote, but everyone has their own timer. In my own opinion, don't be too hard on yourself. Is what I'd say. Stay kind to yourself, my people.
Like it. Stay kind. I think I'll put that as my hashtag of the week. Stay kind.
Yeah, and then put
It's
next
just
to
what we
it
all need.
hashtag live, laugh, love.
Oh no. I'll get like middle-aged mums on
Oh
this.
yes.
Let's talk about your second type and what
Well,
example that you can give.
I think in these forms of appreciation, I feel that because I'm such an extrovert, this is my most important form of appreciation. You can, because one, it can only be achieved if you've not mastered, but you have some form of appreciation for yourself. You've taken the time out to just really have importance on your self-care and taking a breather. And in only that way you can essentially
Mhm,
appreciate other people. Because
mhm,
I'm gonna tell you one thing, Calvin. I didn't appreciate myself a, a lot. Quite a few times back, and anything that came from me was essentially when you put down people. I had like a crab mentality almost,
mhm.
deprecating. Is that the word? Yeah, it's when you put down people. So
Yeah.
anything that would have came out of me, because I was in such anger,
Mhm.
in such anxiety, if you'd like to call it, I'd always want to make people into my level,
Yeah, because
which wasn't
sometimes you
very
compare
healthy.
yourself, you compare yourself to others and you feel
Of
like
course, of
you don't
course,
want them to be, you don't want yourself to be, falling behind, right? And
no. So in without knowing it, subconsciously you drag them down with you.
mhm,
um, and it was only through realizing that I needed to change, um, was when I started appreciating people a lot more. To take this step into appreciating other people, I believe that you have to be kind to yourself also, so that you
mhm.
have to give positivity to other people and raise them up. Maybe some people are more successful than you. That doesn't really matter. But everyone has their own time.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own calendar, if you will.
I mean,
Yeah.
I always say this. I always say this to myself and to other people if I can. Life is a work in progress. Everyone will
Yes.
go through some stage of, you know, um, things that are not good.
Yes.
We will make mistakes, but that's okay because we're human and we can use those experiences to improve ourselves. And like what you said, start appreciating other people. Let's go to the last type of your appreciation and tell us a little bit more about that.
Appreciation around you is very important. The world is, as you know, it feels like a movie. I don't know I don't know if you feel like this, Calvin, but everything that's happened in the world, like history wise, if you think about it, like, I don't know, uh, pandemics, uh, segregation, those all feel like they should be in a film. They shouldn't happen in real life. I don't know if it's
I
just
know what you
me.
mean. I know what you mean. It's like it's too bizarre to think about, but it happened.
Yeah, yeah, like it's we should imagine the world to be a great place, but no, it has a really bad rep. But
Yeah.
no, appreciation for everywhere around you. I mean, don't litter, guys. It doesn't make you it doesn't really clear up
I've actually talked about this on my first episode of the season 2, which is like
yes.
about appreciating little things because sometimes we forget about those.
Mhm.
Um, so, for example, like appreciating the moment where you're just I don't know if you have the same vibe, but like when um, you're just about to sleep and it's like raining hard outside and you're
And then
just
you just like slide your hand on the window.
no, no, not like that. I don't know are you in a music video or something?
Stay with me. Yeah, I know how you feel. A few examples actually, but don't be so into fast fashion. I'm telling you this right now. Like, it's the number one pollutant. Like, uh, Urban Outfitters, don't go to them. Even though I look like I promote Urban Outfitters through the clothes that I wear, but no, don't go to them. Fast fashion is really This is why I'd say fast. I mean, you've seen it on mood boards on Instagram and stuff like that, but the clothes that you wear have a lot of value to other people that have made them. It's quite upsetting to see now, especially that it's lockdown. A lot of people are, what's the word, ordering online.
Yeah.
Funding all these billionaires. So go to your local charity shop and see what they have. Maybe they have some pieces that are worth 60 quid and you don't even realize it. Go to Depop as a good suggestion. When shops open up, which should probably be soon, go to your vintage stores, your Blue Rinse. Fast fashion shouldn't be a thing that we should rely on. Check the facts. I'm not sure about that one, but yeah.
So for our second segment, let's talk about our own personal experience on those three types. So the first one is appreciating yourself. Have you ever found yourself, or do you remember a moment in which you found yourself that you thought of, oh, I appreciate myself. I did good.
Every single day I wake up, I was like, I'm so grateful for myself. I'm so. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't control a lot of things in this world, and I can't control everything that goes on in my life. I must say, I'm guessing it will be the same for you as well, Calvin, or anyone else that's listening to this. You can't control everything. You have a sphere of control, and one thing that I would like to talk about is matter of change. But first of all, I'd like to talk about in the line of fast fashion. I can't, like I said, I can't control everything. But one thing I can control is what I wear, and it's like so superficial for everyone, for most people that are hearing this. But no, it's my way of expressing myself. And ever since I've moved to Leeds, it's been so much easier for me to do that. When I was younger, I was so afraid of expressing myself just because I feared what other people would think of me. Like, who is this dark-skinned Filipino that is like 3'1", being so happy.
Being so happy.
Yeah, and it's just weird to think it like that. But I've found my art form, and it's through expressing myself through my mouth. That came out a little weird, but like the way I talk, and also what I wear. And it's very important to me.
One of the most prominent one, I would say. I mean, obviously, like what you said, when you wake up and you appreciate yourself, I don't really like that because, it's one of a thing that really helps you, especially if you're having, issues with your mental health. But appreciating yourself really, really boosts, your mental health. But one of the prominent one, I would say, is when I graduated university.
Yes,
like you said, you can't control everything, right? So going through the university life of, education-wise.
I thought you were about to say constipation.
No, education life. Your life has always been about studying, right? From your little kid. So graduating university, you're just like, I'm done with, education.
Constipation.
I'm trying to be deep here,
No, but sorry, education, yes.
Yeah, no, when I graduated, I said, I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know I can graduate. Especially that my parents were, were immigrants, and, they didn't really go through this process here in, where we are in the UK. So I pretty much handled it by myself. And I did all my, the research, how to apply via UCAS and all of that. So graduating and having overcome that experience is very rewarding. I'm just like, you know what, Calvin, I appreciate you. You did good. You did well.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to just being grateful for everything that you've done for yourself as well. And with it's not the clothes that I'm like that in my form of self appreciation. By the way, I need to rephrase that. It's my image of myself.
Yeah, your image. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yes, of course. It's the way I portray myself, because I've always have you ever had? It's a weird question to ask, but have you always contemplated on what you look like? Like
Of course, I think everyone does that. Everyone always worries about what they're going to wear. That's why fashion is a fashion, because people always think about what everyone's perception on them and what everyone thinks of them.
one specific moment that I can really touch upon is um, I do have a lot of body dysmorphia. I don't know if
Mm.
anyone has heard of, from anyone that's listening to this, what body dysmorphia is. Body dysmorphia is essentially you see yourself in a different light compared to what other people see you.
Yeah,
And that could be in forms of weight, in forms of height, in forms of whatever you look like. It's something that has always bothered me, and I've had if I can share this moment where it's like I've been through counseling and stuff like that, and I've had moments of relapse where I can look at the body and it's just like I can't live like this anymore.
yeah,
And in those moments, I just remember everything that I've overcome in terms of the dysmorphia. It's like I go to the gym almost. Oh well, before the lockdown, of course. I've been to the gym and I've succeeded in everything that I've set out to do, um, and I look very pretty right now. So
it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of energy to start feeling content of of
of
yourself,
yourself,
of your
yes.
appearance.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, let's go on to the second one. So appreciating others or the people around you.
Give me your first moment, actually, Calvin.
My one,
How have you appreciated other people? Yes,
um, to be honest, there's too many moments. Sorry, I can't really pick one. I would say, obviously, um, without going into it, it's my family already. Obviously, I
of
always
course.
appreciate them every day. My friends, I've come to a point where I've been to a point where I felt like I didn't have any friends. I felt
Right.
like I was alone. Coming out of, I think this moment was when when I finished year when I finished college, or when I finished uh what's that called, middle school, when everyone started going university, going their own way, and you felt like you just like left behind, or everyone's doing their own thing now. So
Yeah.
I've come to that point. So now that I feel like I've gone true, I've res- not, how do you say it, I've met my true friends,
Of
and it's
course.
really nice to have them, especially when I was very down and very hateful of myself. They were there to support me. They were there to you know to just be there to listen to what I'm saying.
Of course. Of course.
And I can't really pick any moment, because they've always just been there for me, and I'm really entirely grateful for them.
Shout out to your
And
friends.
also, last thing, sorry, for all the times they treated me, so I appreciated you.
Yeah. Yeah. You only matter to Calvin because of your food.
Exactly. If you don't treat me, we're not friends. I'm joking, but imagine people believe that.
Yeah. I can remember specifically there was this one patient that's actually changed my way of practice, and I think I'm going to remember throughout my whole career. There was this patient who was very anxious, very impatient, for irony's sake, and ironically close to death. So the way I would, the way I handled death before even entering into a course that is so healthcare based, it is a healthcare based. I've never dealt with it quite well, but it made me talking to this person made me appreciate everything that I've done for other people, and also what other people have done for me, because that's as important. They had long-term illnesses, uh, smoker, and his wife recently died. So obviously, you can imagine what this person would look like. I walk in the room, say good morning, how are you doing, blah blah blah, so and so, and they were impatient, like I mentioned, but they were impatient in a way in a way that they couldn't wait what I would say to them. If you saw the excitement in their eyes for seeing another person while they were in hospital, especially in times of COVID, it's very sparse when you can get visitors. It was all almost magical, and seeing the difference that I've made onto the day, even like seeing them happy for that 1 second, um, changed my perspective in everything almost.
Okay, let's go on to the last one. Moment, personal experience of you appreciating other things.
I've had a lot of friends that never finish their food. Let's just that's always my pet peeve, Like, have you ever seen someone at a lunch table or like just like a social event and just like went, "Oh, I don't like that food." Just puts the plate face down so the food is facing towards the bin.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to appreciate everything that you eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just be respectful of everything around you. It's very easy to be careless of everything that you surround yourself with. From, I don't know, if you have like at least 10 plastic bottles that you haven't put into the recycling bin yet, do it. This is your reminder.
Yeah, one of the things that I appreciate is that I was able to back then when I before COVID,
Yes.
the ability to go on holiday. I think I appreciate that. I appreciate the ability, the opportunity to have those moments because I know some people aren't able to because of money wise or um, they don't have the right to travel or they can't. They might be in a situation where they cannot travel, so I appreciate those moments, and especially I appreciate the moments when me and my family we go on holiday and I'm the one who pays, and I appreciate that because I never thought in my life that I'd be able to reach that stage where I'll be, I'll be providing for my parents and my families.
And that is such a great achievement, can I say,
Yeah,
Calvin? I'm so happy that you're able to do that. Like,
thank
honestly.
you. It's a great feeling. It's a great
Yeah.
feeling. So for audience participation, I asked you guys on Instagram, shout out the person who you appreciate. Okay. So shout out 5 people as usual. So the first one is at Jessa CM. She said, "Me." I'm not surprised. I'm just kidding. She said because Calvin promised to shout me out last episode, but didn't. Yes, I did promise her, but I forgot. Um, Next one is at JZ Loco. He shouted out at Tarantado1, our guest previously. And the third one, I want to shout out at Stab. Shout out Justin. You're appreciated, Justin. And then the next one at G17 underscore Justin. Shout it out you. It's just a full circle. I appreciate all of you. So the last one I'll shout out is at Angel Q Espiritu. She says, shout out to my sister bestie. I miss her and our Netflix schedule are always in sync. So thank you guys for your shout outs. So for top recommendation, I would like to recommend anything to you guys. So anything from a website, an app, a book, whatever it is, just so that we can leave you with something. And after listening to this podcast, so why don't you go ahead first?
Yeah, I have a couple actually. There's this app called Too Good to Go. Look at it right now in your App Store and your Play Store. Too Good to Go. Essentially, it's an app where you get. Is it spare food? Not
Um,
spare food, is it? It's food
yeah,
that's not been taken
not been
throughout the
taken. Yeah,
day. Check it out. It's really good for the environment and whatnot. We don't want food to go to waste. So
it's
it's a
cheap too.
really helpful. It's very cheap. Like
Yeah.
I remember I got like 3 sausage rolls or something for like 50p once because no one took the last batch of sausage rolls for some reason. And then a lot of things that I've taken opportunity for during this lockdown is a lot of meditation apps. So Headspace is really a really good app, and that's a good way that I can reflect on myself to appreciate myself even better. And you know,
Awesome. I like that. I do have the
those
app
are my two.
actually.
Huh?
I do have the app, so I
Yeah,
vouch
yeah,
for that. I
it's
vouch for
sick.
that.
It's
Yeah,
like it's cheap food, man.
seafood. Yeah. My top recommendation isn't well, you can relate it to the topic if you want to, but it's not really a game, but you can download it via Steam. It's called Virtual Cottage, but
Whoa,
you just basically leave it on the background, so it basically plays low. Did you say low? Do you say lofi or lo-fi?
it's lo-fi, my friend.
Lo-fi, because I've heard people say lofi. I was like, that's not how you say it.
No,
But it plays lo-fi music, and it just
no.
helps you focus on whatever you're doing. For example, you're doing homework, or you're doing any sort of report, or doing anything.
Village cottage.
Virtual cottage.
Virtual. I said village cottage. You know.
There you go, virtual cottage. And then if you
Yeah.
want to, you can turn on the option if you want to listen to rain sounds, because I know some people um, get very productive when there's like rain sounds in the background. But I do use it when I'm editing my podcast actually. So that's
Yeah.
like it's free as well. So if you guys are still in school, or if you guys do a lot of paperwork or anything, and you really want to get it done, then I highly suggest downloading that.
Yeah, I mean, I love this section that Calvin puts into his podcast. I wish I could have stole it faster than him.
You can
My
still
quote of
do
the
it,
week.
next season. Next season.
Oh yes, of course. Quote of the week is um, "Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard." Let me just say that because everyone is talented in their own way, my friends. You got to remember, and it goes back to having your own calendar and having your own time. And I do really appreciate those who are trying, and everyone,
I
everyone.
like it. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you managed to get to the end of this podcast, this episode, but thank you very much for listening.
They will.
They will. But especially thank you to Mr. Khris Arjun Salas.
Thank you very much for
During
having me,
this
my
time.
friend. I'm really like I'm so psyched because I've never been a guest before. I've always been the host,
Yeah,
and
but here you are. Thank you very much, Khris Arjun Salas,
Salas.
for your
It's
insights.
gonna be catchy. It's gonna be catchy.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about it already. But I really like your insights and your definition and your breakdown of appreciation. So hopefully when you end this podcast, you guys can start appreciating yourself, your others,
Yes.
your others,
Your
others,
others and
and
your nature.
and other things. But yeah, why don't you plug in your social and your podcast and give her shout outs as well?
Yes, I have plenty. I have so many. You might need to move. No, I'm kidding. So I, like Calvin said, host a podcast too. If you have liked what everything or anything, if or even if you hated anything that I've said today, I have a podcast called The Clinic, and it's on Spotify, it's on Anchor, and you can check it out by following my social at Quavo. That's Khuavo. I think you'll put it in the description, right?
I will do, yes.
Yes, yes. So follow me on my social at Khuavo for more updates on the clinic, my friends. Special shout outs. I'd like to give a shout out to you first of all, Calvin.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, I feel like you deserve it, man. I feel like what's this episode 27?
Yes, 27.
27, and it's crazy how you're doing this. Like,
I
how
remember.
have you even, can I just ask something? How have you even like kept it up week after week? What's
It's
motivated you the most?
the supporters, the one who support the podcast, of course.
Yes.
Every time you
Yes.
release an episode and you get feedback, like good feedback, that just gets you going, isn't it? I remember
Yeah.
I remember when I asked I asked you if you want to be a guest, and you were like, "But that's so far ahead." But here we
Now
are.
we're here.
Now we're
Now
here.
we're here. I was actually meant to be a guest in March, but we'll talk about that later on.
Because I just couldn't wait for him to come on. That's why I had to ask him to come on early.
My name was always in his head when he was going to
Yeah,
sleep.
it's
But
because
no,
Khris Arjun Salas. I was like, damn.
no. I'd like to give a shout out to both of my brothers, Owen and Ryan Salas. I'd like to give a shout out to both of my parents, Cesar and Gemma Salas, and I'd like to give out a shout out to the Shorty. Anyone that sees Sashay on Instagram, say hi for me. And I appreciate everyone that listens to this, and shout out to all of you who's been working so hard, man. Shout out to Kyla, Mojica, Aliana Del Rosario, Jasmine Bagayan, the guests that were on my podcast as well. I'm just saying whoever comes into my mind. Nathan Derrick, if he does listen to this. There was another one. Brendan Kumarasamy. Shout out to Dr. Usman. Shout out to bloody Efosa, Kim Cortez, everyone, Sarah Draper, every one of you. I'm so appreciative of everything that you've done for me. Oh yeah, shout out to Brandon and Trisha and JJ. Trisha Abad, my assistant. Sorry, I completely missed her out. Go to her YouTube account. It's called Carrot and Spinach, and she has really random videos, like really random. She'll teach you how to cook. She'll teach you how to design, and she'll teach you how to be funny. So yeah, go check her out. Carrot and Spinach on YouTube. And yeah,
Awesome. Shout out to you guys. For my one, I want to give a shout out this week. Since we're talking about appreciation, I want to give a shout out to my friends, the Buds group. So for my Buds family, I want to give a shout out to you guys. I don't say this, but you help me go through every time I go through something, and I appreciate you for that. And all the Zoom birthdays that we've had. And I want to also give a special shout out as well to my gaming. I don't know why it's weird to say, but my gaming group, the Poggy Make Cry crew. So we stream quite a lot. So if you want to, you can check out. I'll put down in the description the streaming link. So if you want to watch us play, then watch us play. Go visit and follow as well. So yeah, if you want like to continue supporting me, and if you'd like to join in on the fun of participating in our topic, then follow me on Instagram at Making Sense with Galbinium. Or if you want to become a patron and become a listener, then go to my Patreon page at patreon.com/making sense with Galbino. But that's it for today. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. And thank you, Khris Arjun Salas.
You're very welcome.
For being a guest. But yeah, see you guys next Monday. Peace.
Bye. Oh my goodness.